So I've been wanting to film a just day in the life video. I am a mom of two. I have a 15-year-old and a 7-week-old. So right now I just dropped my 15-year-old off at school. She is in 9th grade, and so yeah, she's pretty independent with her whole routine in the morning. I do help her out quite a bit with her cake pops. She likes to make cake pops to sell, and so I've been wrapping those this morning while baby was sleeping. And then I pick up her friend who lives nearby. We kind of carpool on various days, so she rides with us Wednesday through Friday. And then Thursday is donut day. So I'm just someone who, I kind of like routine, not too strict, but having some sort of like markers throughout the week to look forward to, things that are special, kind of like online with romanticizing your life. I just feel like, I don't know, I look forward to Thursdays for that reason, even though right now I'm kind of on a more conscious eating path. Now that I've got clearance to work out and that sort of thing, I'm trying to be more mindful of what I eat. I have about 12 pounds left to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And I'm not in a huge rush, but I do know, I've lost weight in the past before and maintained it for several years. So I do know, you can't really just have it all. So just knowing myself, if I eat donuts today, I'll be less motivated to work out and probably more likely to snack and choose other things. So it's not just like having the donut. I understand like it's all about balance, and in reality there's, maybe 300 something calories in the donut, so it could be a meal. But anyway, I digress. So donut day, I'm getting one for my husband, and then my mom, who's coming by, she tries to visit once a week she lives about an hour away, so that's really sweet. I'm glad we can spend some time. She can visit with my little one and get to know him, and then it kind of frees me up to do one or two things that maybe I've been putting off. So I'm gonna get a pedicure later today. But anyway, so getting donuts, heading home. Little one is sleeping, so he's 7 weeks. He'll be 8 weeks tomorrow, and it's amazing like how much of a difference that 2 months makes. He is getting a little more predictable in his like sleep pattern at night, and he's also smiling and cooing, so it's kind of really rewarding. I think, not everyone talks about like how different each stage is, from newborn to like infant to baby, toddler, and they all move so quickly. And I think having a 15-year-old definitely highlights that. I know that none of this is forever, so even the more like, I guess, difficult aspects of having a newborn, like lack of sleep, in the grand scheme of things, this is such a short time period. So I could see how people who could have their first kid would be in shock, like, oh my god, you go from, waking up whenever to like having full control of your schedule to like basically being at the beck and call of a newborn, especially if you're breastfeeding. So it could feel like, oh my gosh, like what have I gotten myself into? This is parenthood, and that's not really a reflection of parenthood. Not saying it gets easier. There will be trade-offs, right? I have a 15-year-old, so in a sense it's easier in terms of her ability to, wash her laundry or make a meal for herself in the morning if she needs to get breakfast. I still kind of put that together for her when she's in a rush, but she does her own hair, picks her own outfits, so that's freed me up. But then there's the kind of emotional changes that come with puberty and all of that, social aspects like friendships, boys having to worry about safety, giving her a little bit more autonomy and freedom to do things, with friends on their own. And so the next chapter is driving, which I'm lightweight terrified of that as well, just because, not so much her, just like the drivers on the road. So I'm sure if anyone has teens or older children, you could relate to that fear. I was 15 and a half when I started driving, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So yeah, I'm fine with delaying it a little bit if she's not ready to get her permit right away. She'll be 15 and a half in July. But I also want her to have experience driving before she hits 18 and is going to be out doing things anyway. So you might as well, get a few years under your belt to have those skills that you're almost inevitably going to have to use in life. So there's that. Yeah, so that's kind of what's on the plate today. I have Bible study in the evening. I meet with a friend, and we get dinner, and I'm going to bring baby. I'm going to put him in his wrap today because I've been doing him, putting him in his stroller, but now he just wakes up whenever he's not moving, whether it's in the car or the stroller. He'll sleep the whole time, and then as soon as we stop, he wakes up. Same with putting him down. As soon as I put him down and he doesn't feel that he's being held, he wakes up. So that's obviously a bit of a challenge, but there are definitely ways to kind of work around it, and I feel like I'm getting more confident in those areas, especially as he grows and is more, I would say, tolerant of different various situations, maybe intolerant of others that he was before. He could, when he was first born, just sleep in his car seat for, a whole meal if we were to go out, but now that he wakes up, I'm going to transition him to the wrap because we've done a few things in the wrap where he was able to just kind of stay asleep on me, and I could go about my business, eat a meal, all of that. So it's been fun. I do try to squeeze in getting ready here and there in just little windows and pockets. If you've got a little one, you may not be able to spend several hours getting ready or consecutive time getting ready even. I feel like I'm basically finding windows of time when he's napping, to just do my makeup here or take a quick shower there, even if it's broken up into different stages. I might take a quick shower and then he wakes up, and then later on when he's asleep, after I drop my daughter off in the car, I'll bring my makeup bag in the car with me, and once I get back home, for those few minutes while he's still sleeping, I'll just do my makeup really quickly. So it's about getting creative and finding time rather than finding excuses, because we all know that we can find excuses not to get dressed, but I just feel better and more put together when I do that. And my hair, I wear extensions, so luckily they hold the curl really well, so I'm able to get away with doing my hair every 3 days or so, in a very kind of tight curl, and then it'll just kind of fall into more of a blowout style for the next couple of days. Some people, wear a slick back bun. There's so many different ways that you can kind of at least look put together without, or be high maintenance to be low maintenance, or whatever it's called, right? So you're not spending hours every day doing your hair, but maybe getting a blowout once a week or twice a week, and then letting it just kind of run its course, is better than just not doing your hair. And again, if you're not someone who is bothered by not having your hair done or care to get dressed, then do you, because I'm not saying it makes everyone feel better, but for myself to go from being very into fashion for the last few years and makeup and hair, it's part of my identity, I feel like. So it's something I want to continue to be able to feel like myself, if that makes sense. But if that wasn't you before, baby, I know plenty of people who wear very minimal or no makeup, so it wouldn't make sense to start implementing that unless you really want to. So for me, it's part of self-care. And I think it's important to, if for you self-care is making sure your nails are done, do that. If it's making sure you're moving, do that. If it's all of those things, try to do all that without putting too much pressure on yourself to get it all done, or for it to look like it looked like before you had a little one. So for me, yeah, just finding ways, the way I've been moving my body, I'm going to be walking for about 20 minutes, and then when he's asleep, I go to the gym in my complex and then do a 20-minute weight workout. And it's nice because nobody's really in there. It's got all the weights that I need for arms and squats. And he kind of wakes up, but I play music and he just kind of chills there in his bassinet style stroller attachment. And yeah, that's kind of how I got my workout done. So just flowing, 6 months ago I was doing spin classes by myself for an hour and getting, a latte afterwards. So obviously I'm not going to be doing that right now. Not to say that will never happen again. He'll be in, preschool or kindergarten before you know it, and I'll have pockets of time again, or once he's a little bit older and better with the bottle, maybe I'll just go to the gym or do something while he stays with my husband. So it's all about working those things in. I'm also returning to work part-time, so it's 2, sometimes 3 days a week. So a pretty short schedule, like 20 hours a week. And during that lunch hour, I may actually go to a gym nearby my work. So once again, finding those pockets, getting creative. I've been a mom for 15 years, so I definitely understand, like, you have to find, something that works for you in the season, and it's not completely dependent on everything going perfectly, right? I don't really want something where at this point it's going to be dependent on his nap schedule, or if he is taking a bottle, or my husband's schedule. I want something that I could just do every day without excuse, and going for a 20-minute walk is pretty much foolproof. Like, unless I'm sick or he's sick, there's really no reason I can't do it, unless I'm super busy that day, which I'm usually not. Now that the time has changed, I can walk, pretty much anytime from 7 a.m. to, 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes my husband and I walk at night. So yeah, another little self-care thing. I get a coffee out. We got a new coffee machine, which I've been loving that too, but I love to get a coffee out. It's just something about coffee elsewhere. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you can relate, but whether that be drive-through at Starbucks or going into a coffee shop with my little one, it's just something that, once again, like, feels like my old self. And at this age, I'm 36, coffee, wine, clothes, live music, vacationing, like, those are just things that kind of fill my cup. So just doing the little things, romanticizing my life. And yeah, so pedicure today, that's a big event, and Bible study later on. Because Bible study is around 6, I try to make dinner maybe like 4 for my husband and daughter, since they'll be home. That way they have dinner ready, and I usually eat out during that time, so works out for everyone. I may do some laundry while my mom's here, because that's just one of those things that I don't love doing. I wouldn't say that's self-care, doing my laundry, but the feeling afterward, or the amount of stress it reduces, I would say is a way of protecting and thinking of my future self and my anxiety levels and stress levels that could potentially come in the future if I don't get a handle on the laundry. So laundry, least favorite, but very necessary, obviously. So I think that's it. That was my little chit chat, and yeah, I'm gonna head in. After my workout, I'm gonna get dressed, and it's pretty nice weather today. I'll probably I've been doing dresses a lot, ones that are breastfeeding friendly, which usually means zip or button up, or just like low cut enough. And yeah, I did do a little bit of self tanner this morning. I'm feeling very productive, apparently. Which I do a 2-hour express one, which is a little hack for me. I don't love to be in tanner for 8 hours. I don't love to sleep in it and get it on my sheets. And I do just like put it to right here because I'm breastfeeding, and I obviously don't want it on my nipple. So that's just a little hack. I've heard people like cut out holes in their shirt or something when they're breastfeeding. I'm not going that far, but it's an idea. When there's a will, there's a way. So yeah, I actually made a list a few years ago to remind myself of what are the key things that I like to, in terms of beauty maintenance, I like to do to feel my best, so that I can always refer back to that if I'm feeling down, or if I'm going to be in a postpartum season. Not to look at it and say, wow, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things, but just to kind of implement some of them if I'd forgotten for whatever reason. Yes, I feel my best with nude nails and getting my nails done. And I've tried press-ons, I've tried gel at home, just gel manicures. I've done it all at bare nails, and this is what I feel best in. So reminding myself that when I start to make excuses as to maybe I don't need to have them done right now, or it's not worth the money, or it's too much of a pain, or I'll try and get press-ons and they just end up popping off and causing too much stress and time. I rather just go in for 45 minutes to an hour every 3 weeks than spend, every few days trying to fix chip nail polish or glue on press-on nails that have fallen off. So, you know, that's one thing. Having a tan, not year-round, I'm fine with like my normal skin color, but it does kind of add during the spring and summer, especially when my hair is a little bit lighter. For me, brown hair is fine. Like highlights and all that is not a must. Extensions are a must, and I do them myself. I do tape-ins. But hair color, you know, I could go 5-6 months without getting my hair done or just doing my own dark hair color. Right now I have some highlights that I got done before I had the baby, just as something, a treat to myself, and like, again, thinking of my future self. How did I want to feel postpartum? A little bit more elevated, you know? So yeah, those are just some things to keep in mind. So I recommend making a list of, you know, those maintenance things that you like and feel best in, you know, whether it's, okay, wearing an A-line dress or wearing a black something, or having my hair in a slick back bun, wearing minimal jewelry. I also got this little bracelet, and it's the kind that they like weld on you. It's kind of cool. It's like permanent jewelry, and I think that's a pretty cool mom hack, like just to have things, studs in my ears, just to already be kind of put together every morning, things that I don't have to take on and off. Just make every outfit look a little bit put together, even if I'm in loungewear. So if I could suggest anything, minimal jewelry that stays on you, so preferably like real gold or whatever. Keeping your nails done, doing a blowout once or twice a week. What's the other one? You know, there are other things, like I'll tint and laminate my brows myself. Even I do like the lip liner stains, doing that in the morning, letting it sit for like 15 minutes, and then you're good all day. Yeah, tan if you like it, but there's just so many ways, not to overwhelm you, but you know, to feel your best, and that's just what I like to consider. I know it's not for everybody. I know I'm clearly wearing like sweats right now, so it's not like I'm in the most elevated outfit, but I do know when and how I feel my best. So that was it. I'm gonna head inside. Little one's sleeping. We'll see what I can get done in this time. Bye.